Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope that everybody's doing okay. So today, I believe that this is going to be the first time that I deviate away from music, which is what I usually discuss here on my YouTube channel. But also, actually, I think this is the first time that I've incorporated my face into a video. So yeah, welcome to my ugly mug. No, it's kind of been therapeutic for me actually. I started YouTube as a kind of therapy, and I guess I've gradually been building towards including myself in videos. Like I've been incorporating my face into thumbnails and such of late. So yeah, just natural progression, I guess. But anyway, I'm waffling. So today, as I say, I'm moving away from music. I'm going to be discussing three separate things that I'm passionate about. The first of which is cartography. The second is buses. I like buses. And lastly, the city of Leeds, West Yorkshire, England, which is where I'm originally from. And all three of these things combined and kind of amalgamate into one exceptionally niche item, which I'm about to show you. I know it's very niche. So yeah, it is a public transport map of Leeds circa 1980. The price sticker there, 35 pence. I mean, what with inflation, I guess that would be about £3-4 today, which I still think is actually excellent value because the paper that this thing is printed on alone is worth more than that. I mean, this thing is fucking huge, which you're gonna see. I mean, that's just the first fold. It actually, I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it's like a bedsheet. Yeah, I could definitely put that over myself and sleep soundly at night. It is absolutely huge. So I won't bother to fold it up because I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan the camera over it for people to look at and take screenshot stills of areas that you're particularly interested in. And then I think afterwards I'm going to start providing a little bit of commentary and maybe analysis, comparing the contemporaneous routes to the contemporary routes of today and see, how much they've changed and evolved over the years. I mean, I had a quick look and I can see that like the main arterial corridors, they're pretty much unchanged, even in numbers. And then even like some of the more like suburban routes, they're unchanged apart from in number. So it really is fascinating to me, at least. Like I say, this combines three things that I love: cartography, the study of maps, buses, and Leeds. So yeah, the study of Leeds buses in map form. So yeah, without any further ado, I'm going to now show you the map. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some details. So here we have Eden, which is where the airport is situated. Here we have Otley. Here we have a detail of East Leeds, Crossgates and Seacroft. Here we have Wortley, Bramley, Farnley, Armley area of Leeds. What's interesting is that Old Farnley is just referred to here as Farnley, whereas nowadays we would call this Old Farnley, because of course there is a new Farnley. Okay, here's a large detail of Leeds city centre and the surrounding suburbs. Holbeck, Hyde Park, Woodhouse. Here's a more central detail of Leeds city centre. What's interesting is Vicar Lane bus station is still in operation on this map. It was never in operation during my lifetime. Here we have a detail of Garforth town, which is very sparse, even compared to today, but especially if you compare it to the 90s after a privatisation. Things went crazy. And lastly, we have a detail of the lovely market town of Wetherby. And what's interesting is that the numbers are still kind of the same. So 799 became 99, and it is now X99, I believe. Same here, 798 became the 98, and it's now X98. And finally, here's the main map itself. I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful. It's crazy. I mean, it's kind of erroneous. There's a lot of errors, but that's to be expected because there's so much information to cram in. So let's start with South Leeds. A bit of Wakefield there, Renthorpe, Halverthorpe. All the way up to Aberford Turning Circle. Lotherton Hall used to be served by a bus. Interesting. All the way up to Wetherby. East Leeds, Seacroft Crossgates. I've already seen the detail there, that's why there's no information there. Middleton looks very sparse, especially compared to the 90s. Morley Town is kind of crazy. Bit of Bradford there, Birkenshaw. Actually, that probably comes under Dewsbury. Homewood, Tong, Tyersall. We'll see. New Farnley. So New Farnley was a thing. Maybe Old Farnley is not actually a thing. Maybe that's just what Metro likes to call the area, just to disambiguate. What's interesting here is there's a terminus at Farsley I've never seen before. New Street 611. That's interesting. Horsforth, Hawksworth, Cookridge, Tinsel, Holt Park, Guiseley and Eden, a bit of Menston, Otley, and the other Hawksworth. Yes, there's two Hawksworths. It's Hawksworth and then Hawksworth. Okay, so now I'm going to provide some analysis and things I find interesting. So, interesting is that there is a terminus there at Thorpe. Very interesting, the terminus is at Middleton and Belial. 74, the terminus is there for some reason. I don't really understand how it terminated there. 21 terminated where the tramline ended, I guess. Number 9 terminated there. 87 serving the Manor Farm estate. We had a bus that accessed the Lowmore estate from Albert Road, which is unusual. And this is interesting. Hales Lane had 3 buses. So 91, which is still running today. That is one of the longest non-centralized routes still operating. 94, 97. 97 in the 90s. I'll have to show you that in another video because it's crazy. It basically starts at like Cross Green, goes all the way up around here through Bramley, and it goes down, follows the 73 route, the old 73 route down this way, sorry, to Farnley, to Lower Wortley, and then you think, it's finally coming into Leeds, but no, it actually continues up through Burley, through Woodhouse Ridge, High Park, and then it comes down Lovell, is it Lovell Park Road? What used to be, what did it used to be called? It's notorious. Can't remember the name of it. That road in Little London. I don't know. Also interesting is the buses that went down Harehills Road terminated there. They did not even connect with Roundy Road, which is, I don't understand how they turned around there. It's like a crazy big junction. So was there a turning circle? I don't know. I'd never seen any evidence of like the road layout at the time. 61 and 62 going down Hudson Road. That's interesting. Oh yeah, so the 50 is pretty much unchanged on this side of Leeds. But on the eastern side, it actually follows the present day 42, but only as far as Gipton. There are no buses going into what is now Fernville. Also interesting is the 38 terminating at Whitkirk Church by going up Knightsway and then back down Hollyshaw Lane. That's because Colton New Village, as we now know it, didn't exist then. You can see the only access is School Lane, and the terminus is actually in the road is blocked, but that's Colton Old Village. The 38 was my favorite bus. As a kid, I love riding on that one. Crazy route. Sadly, it was withdrawn like 2 or 3 years ago. It was kind of dying on its arse, I guess, um, which is really sad. Really, really sad, I think. Also interesting is this place up here. Wyke has a bus serving it. In the modern day, like even stretching back to the 90s, no bus has gone there. 34, 35, 71, they lasted a very long time in the X35, but they've now been renumbered 7, 7A, and 7S respectively. 7S goes to Shadwell, the S is for Shadwell. Interesting is the terminus of the 69. Is it Legit Park Avenue, is it called? Is it Gledhow Park Avenue? I can't remember. There was no turning circle there, it's just a very huge junction. But sadly you cannot turn there anymore because they've recently amended the road layout. 3 terminuses in Gipton. That's ridiculous. I mean, I'm saying that the 90s got crazy after privatization, but yeah, some of the routes here, some of the termini here are pretty unusual. That's interesting. Buses terminated at Halton at the back of the Irwin Arms. And yeah, they actually had buses serving High Roads Hospital. So yeah, let's see the main corridors. Let's see how they've changed. So number 1, that's still running today. The route is pretty much unchanged. It's named after the tram line, so number 1. Number 4, however, that follows a completely different main arterial corridor that goes from east to west, from Seacroft to Pudsey now. Number 9, the Ring Road service, still active today. And this is interesting, you have buses serving Roman Avenue and Birchwood Hill, which for some reason were prioritised in the 70s, 80s and 90s, but now no buses go down there. They always had to have like some kind of deviation, a variation on some route that served Birchwood Hill, and then they just abandoned it like in the late 90s for some reason. Yeah, as far as I can see, the longest surviving non-centralized routes are the 86 and the 91. So let's see, the 86 used to terminate there at Belial. It's a strange terminus. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty much unchanged to present day. And then the 91, which again was another favourite route as a child, that's unchanged virtually. I mean, I think the terminus in Pudsey is different, but yeah, so it basically just goes up to Chapel Arton, then across to Meanwood, down Headingley, down to Kirkstall, up to Bramley, Stanningley, and then up to Pudsey, and then it terminated. It's actually only recently been amended. It now terminates just at the bus station, but so yeah, that's probably the longest surviving non-centralized, that means goes through the city centre, route. Also, that's interesting. The 2 terminated at Crossflats Park, but then it also terminated there. What, so it run from there to there? What's that all about? Strange. I guess the rest of Cottingley had not yet been built, you know, there's no loop. This is interesting too, there is a terminus there at Meanwood, which is still there, buses could still technically terminate there. Also Beckett Park, the 7 terminated there. The turning circle is still there to this day, I believe the 56 sometimes terminates there. If not, it terminates lower down at Headingley Eden Drive, which is an even stranger terminus, the way that the buses have to basically turn around in the middle of the road. This is very unusual terminus. And we've got a terminus there, which would have been Farnley, I guess. I don't know if there was a turning circle there. There must have been. There isn't now. I know that is a fact. And lastly, I think I'll finish with this. The 781. How old is this route? It is still active even today, which is, I mean, you can look and say that, well, the 36 is also still active, but because 781 is just such an unusual route, just such a very niche service to provide, the fact that it survived all of this time is crazy. It's not in its full length anymore. It terminates somewhere in Meanwood, I believe. It doesn't go into the city centre, but pretty much still the rest of the route. Actually, no, I think it only goes as far as Otley, whereas it used to go to Ilkley, but I do find that crazy. 781 has survived all this time, and the number has never changed. So it's like a throwback number. There's no other like 3-digit numbers beginning in the 700s anymore, is there? In Leeds, yet that one has still survived. That is such an interesting throwback. Okay, so I guess that is all from me. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that it has been a revelation. To be honest, I don't actually own a scanner right now, but even if I did, I just dread to even contemplate the gargantuan feat of having to run that fucking thing through a scanner. So I just hope that you can appreciate the format in which I've chosen to upload this map. If so, then please remember to click subscribe and also hit the little bell to keep abreast of my future posts, because I will be posting more about buses and or bus related paraphernalia in the near future. So I guess until then, thank you, obrigado, gracias, grazie, merci, danke, spasiba za prosmater, even jest And yeah, until next time, do svidania.